Hello everybody! Today's video I want to talk to you about PTSD in parents with children with disabilities, special needs parents. I have PTSD and I see a therapist, and I've come to the conclusion that I feel like a lot of parents that have special needs children with disabilities, people that caregivers have this but don't talk about it. I deal with it all the time. I deal with symptoms of PTSD all the time. I have, if you're new, I have 6 kids. I have 4 that have some kind of disability, and I get triggered a lot. And I really wanted to share this story, this experience, this awareness, so others don't feel alone and can be aware of it so they can understand it and not feel bad about it, and then can see that it is PTSD and it is okay when you feel these feelings, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. Because I know when I didn't know what I had, what was going on, I didn't like myself. I would get upset with myself. I just felt completely I didn't understand why I would feel this way. And now with therapy, I have understanding, and when I'm going through hard times, I can say, okay, I am being triggered. I am having PTSD right now, and it's okay. So, what is, I have my phone. What is PTSD? It is a post-traumatic stress disorder. That is what it stands for. So my PTSD is mainly to do with medical things. You know, it's medical stuff. It's diagnoses. And I just wanted to share like a little bit of a story just so you all can see, you know, what happened. So I have 4 children that have had some kind of diagnosis. And every time my child gets diagnosed, I can get triggered by past diagnoses. So, you know, Griffin's was probably my biggest, you know, diagnosis. And I remember when Wynn was diagnosed with CRMO, when you have PTSD, you can get flashbacks to where you were when you were getting those diagnoses. And I can remember, you know, I was having flashes of Griffin's diagnosis, where I was, the feel, the taste, all the things that happened when I was dealing with Wynn's diagnosis. And then I would have the physical reaction too, you know, the uncontrollable crying, the helpless feeling, I had almost no control over my body for just a short time when I was dealing with that diagnosis of Wynn, when the doctor told me what was going on, the helpless, the loss. And you know, I would have flashes of like where I was with Griffin, and I'd be with where I was with Wynn, and I get a flashes of when Lindy was getting diagnosed with apraxia of speech, and Sawyer. I mean, they're very vivid, big memories that affect me. And I find, like, I'm on the Angelman Facebook page, and there's so many newly diagnosed families out there right now, and they post a lot because it's new to them. But I can get definitely even triggered by a post of a parent, mother, father, who are struggling and dealing with the acceptance of their child's diagnosis. And then it'll flash to, you know, I'll flash to a moment of when I was struggling so hard in a deep depression, dealing with Griffin's diagnosis. And so I just want to share this because it's so important for other moms, parents, caregivers to know that these are going to happen. And my therapist and I are working on, if I have an appointment coming up for one of my kids that are bigger, like my daughter has infusions every month at Children's Hospital. You know, hospitals aren't the best place for me. my mother died at a hospital. You know, Griffin's had multiple surgeries and he's had multiple tests done at hospitals. Wynn's had her bone biopsy. She's had MRIs. Hospitals aren't great. They're not a happy place. And of course, I don't think they are, but they are triggers to my emotions, to when I can feel completely awful. And so my therapist and I are talking about how to mentally prepare. I'm going to feel these feelings when I'm in them. And it does help to prepare myself when I go into a situation that is like that. Like when I have an IEP meeting, I've had for me, they've been very hard and traumatic because of all the fighting I had to do for my boys. And yes, it was all worth it, but I feel fear when I hear an IEP meeting is coming. I feel completely scared out of my mind, because it is so, they were so hard and so awful, and I was so worried, and it was just not good. It was not good. And so I have to mentally prepare myself that it could be hard, it could not be hard, and I'm gonna feel all these feelings, and that's okay. That's okay. It's very emotional. It's so hard to get triggered sometimes on the daily when things are really hard, and to be able to say, hey, this is out of my control to a degree, and I'm okay to feel these feelings. And I did want to bring up another little story. I had a mom's night out at my friend's house for an Angelman syndrome party for moms, and it was fantastic, but I had a panic attack there. Like, I've never had a panic attack before. I had a panic attack, and you know, talking to my therapist, I was getting sick too at the time, so I think there was a couple of combinations, but this last month, October, was really, really emotionally hard. We had so many appointments for the kids, so many illnesses, like it was a lot. But when I'm in the moms group and I was sitting there and I was hearing all the moms bringing up epilepsy, bringing up medications, bringing up the struggles, bringing up you know, everyone's in a different place in their journey with dealing with diagnoses, which is understandable. It was very emotional. And then another Angelman mom brought her mom in, who was so lovely, and it was beautiful to see their relationship. And then I got sad because I didn't have my mother there, and it was a combination of hearing people's journeys and one, maybe starting to get sick, and then this amazing mom there for her daughter, and wishing my mother could be here, and she's not. She's in heaven. And I literally had a panic attack, full body chills. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I went upstairs, was shaking violently, could not calm down, sobbing uncontrollably. And I think it was just a very rough month, and being completely overwhelmed with the situation and not being mentally prepared for this experience. And so my therapist, like I said, next time there will be a mom's night, because I know there will be, to mentally prepare that I'm going to be triggered a lot. And it's gonna be all about epilepsy, and it's gonna be all about, you know, disabilities and all the things and all the where people are at in their journey of their diagnoses with their kids. Yeah, it was really, really hard. It was so hard. So I'm just sharing this. PTSD with special needs parents, caregivers, is real. And to know that if you're not a special needs person, family member, that the people that you know, if you might know them, that have children that they're dealing with this day to day, they have this. They have this. There's studies that show that like 1 in 5 families with children with disabilities have PTSD. That it's a real thing, and that if they start acting a little different, if they start getting triggered by things, if they get angry or sad or start crying for no reason and you don't see what's going on, it's probably because something happened and something they saw on their phone. I mean, I get triggered by Facebook and Instagram and TikTok all the time because I see videos of people going through a lot that will remind me of situations that I've been through. Just know that we are all dealing with something, and special needs parents are dealing with something, and they can get triggered really, really easily. But yeah, I just really wanted to spread awareness of this. Something that I've just come to light, I've just learned about, and that I have. And it helps me, you know, it helps to know. Just like when your kid gets a diagnosis, you know, you don't want it, but that information is so important because now you can put it in a place, and now you can go, okay, this makes sense, and I understand. And then when I'm dealing with something that gets me going, triggers, I can go, okay, I'm dealing with PTSD right now, and it's not fun, but I can at least understand where it's coming from. But yeah, this is what the video was about today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Yeah, and we'll see you next time, and don't forget, guys, you are wonderful. Bye.